Uh-huh.
Hello?
Yeah,
Can you
yeah,
hear
this
me
is,
okay? Can you hear me okay?
yeah, I hear you good. Yeah.
Okay, great, because I have you on my speaker. So
Okay.
I'm going to apologize if my phone rings because I'm supposed to launch a magazine today. So I feel I'm sick of her phone call. So if it rings, I got to see that it comes in. So I apologize if the phone rings while we're speaking. So how are you?
I'm cool. Can't complain, you know. Yeah.
How was your holiday?
Yeah, it was good. Like it kind of, I mean, it was slow. I mean, but it was alright. It could have been better, but you know what I mean. I'm here, so it's good.
Oh, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Everybody kind of had it. I'm sad that it's over. I mean, it's like coming down from this incredible joyous high in a good way. So it's like, okay, what do I do now? I mean, because you're leading up to it, you're building up to it, the momentum. I mean, I don't buy gifts. I call everybody and said I love you. I said I'm giving you a gift from my heart. But then it's like, everybody is nicer. Everybody wants to talk and hug and share, and as soon as after January 1st, after the hangover clears, nobody knows who you are.
Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, it's a time of year, and then after a while, let's get back to business.
And then that same weekend, that's when all the bills come in for all the stuff that you bought.
Man, that's the truth right there. That's the truth.
Okay. Well, let's get started on your social media plan. And today what I want to talk to you about is actually, I did look over your stuff, so we're going to be starting from ground one.
Okay.
Because, I mean, in order for you to really build a sustainable music career, it's going to take some time. I mean, I hate when people promise people, oh, it's going to happen overnight, or we can do this in 3 months and get you all this. That's not true. They're lying. I'm telling you, they're lying. It's all about the organic audience. And what I mean by organic, I mean people coming to you because they like your music. They want to know your music. It has nothing to do with buying followers, buying views. Anybody can do that. But, those people don't care. They're just trying to get points so they can go do other things. You want to build a sustainable career of people who really appreciate your music, will share your music willingly, and purchase your music so you can build loyal customers from the pool of fans that you have. That takes time. That takes definitely releasing a quality music and fine-tuning some things on your social media end to start. So the thing is, and I can't recall, so do forgive me, if you have an actual website, I believe you did send me a link to an actual website.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay. The website, and let me explain my background. I'm also a web developer.
Okay.
I develop websites. I've been doing it since 1997. And when marketing, since around 2000, when I started, when I graduated from the Art Institute of Phoenix, and I started doing marketing, and I started helping music artists, just like just designing flyers for them. Because I was always doing marketing anyway, on a small scale. And then I worked for the University of Phoenix and joined their marketing department where I used to run multi-million-dollar campaigns for them. And then I moved over to their multimedia department where I built, multi-platform sites for them. So, so well-rounded, so I can talk to you about design, I can talk to you about business development, and I can talk to you about marketing, and I can talk to you about artist development. So, the thing is about a website, think of it as an airport, a major airport. That's your hub. You want to pull all your traffic into your website. Your social network should always be encouraging people to go to your website. And one of the reasons why is to save you money. Because if you can build your own shopping cart or add, there's a lot of free shopping carts, there's a lot of really inexpensive shopping carts that you can add instead of going to Zazzle, instead of going to, Reverb Nation or anything like that. Great tools, but if you really want to start making your own money, you really want to make sure you have tools and services installed on your website to help you, generate that revenue for you. And it starts website. Your website already has to be set up where it is a search engine optimized, and that means that it's ranking high in the search engines. Like I'm gonna pull up your name, Soul Rebel, correct?
Yeah.
I'm going to Google you. So I'm going to Google you. So your website will help you rank much higher, in websites.
Okay.
Your search, the website ranking on Google. So I'm going to Google. And I'm going to search for just Soul Rebel. And when I'm pulling up at the top, of course, you got Bob Marley's Soul Rebel. It's going to be hard to get that.
Your whole basis of Soul Rebel.
And then when I scroll down, I don't see you.
Oh, try Big Ham, a.k.a. Soul Rebel.
Okay, so Soul, a.k.a. Rebel?
Big Ham, a.k.a. Soul Rebel.
Okay, Big Ham. Okay, so I'm going to do Big Ham. And the reason why I'm doing Soul Rebel too is because I'm searching how people might search.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? They might go Soul Rebel. They might not remember Big Ham, a.k.a. Soul Rebel.
Yeah.
Now I see you. But you also want to rank high when it's just Soul Rebel. And that's where your website comes in, because you can make sure your website is optimized to put the keywords in there, Soul Rebel, Soul Rebel, Soul Rebel, strategically, so you can start showing when somebody just types Soul Rebel, you want to pop up too on that first page. Even if it's just make you one or two links, you still want to be in that top 10 somewhere. So people can go, oh, who's this? Somebody, they might wonder, does he have a Bob Marley cover, or why is he saying Soul Rebel too? So you're gonna draw the look through, because people are nosy. But basic design, people are really nosy. We're nosy. We're human beings. We're nosy. We have this need to know basis and everything. Even if it's not good for us to know something, we need to know about it.
True.
So people will Google you all the time. And don't worry about this, because I'm going to give you this recording so you don't have to try to write anything down or anything. But after you set up your website, and I'm going to run an SEO checkup on it to see where you're at and what needs to be changed.
Okay. Yeah, the website is in the beginning stages. It's real basic.
Right. Your website is valuable real estate. You can do anything you want on your website. You own it. You don't have to. Of course you pay for your hosting, and if you haven't designed it yourself, pay for a designer, or you're get a really good WordPress theme that does a lot. It's really like a WordPress, actual website. We use it at University of Phoenix too. So we use WordPress and all that stuff because, to take a developer's time to actually build a custom design site it would take months and months. So we use a blogging platform, and it works quite well. It's come a long way, and it does everything for you, pretty much for people. So especially if you really don't know web design, it's a learning curve, but it's not a huge learning curve if you were trying to do web development from the ground up. And it's great because you have plugins that you can install to help you build your search engine optimization with the, keywords and your metadata and all that stuff. So the thing is, you definitely want to have to make sure that your website is operating at the highest efficiency possible, 90% and above. It needs to have at least a B grade, when I run that check. And then, you make some minor tweaks. It needs to have at least to be B plus, this to be, higher. Get in the A's. That's when you're really doing something. But at least a B. Because, when I run mine, I know I have to tweak mine. Just to give you an example, I'm in a B rating, but when you put in what's hood, or just what's hood and not even what's hood radio, it's going to pop up.
Okay.
That's what you want, because that's how people find you. People use Google as the number one search engine, and they want to discover new music. Yeah. So once you have your website done, that's when your social media will really pay off. Once you have your website and like I said, your top websites, your top social network sites right now, of course, Facebook is number one. But then it's interesting to note that you have Twitter, but I'm going to tell you, Google Plus, the recent ranking in December that I saw is Facebook, Google Plus, and YouTube. Well, you know, Google owns YouTube. So they're pretty much dominating. Twitter is still there, but it's not really used for social media networking. It's a microblogging system. And people they misunderstand the use of Twitter and they use that wrong, but don't worry. You know, in the next consultation, after we get everything set up and running, then we'll talk about how to use each specific one. But we got to make sure that all your pages are set up correctly to take a heavy influx of traffic. So let's talk about, you know, Twitter just for a second here when I say microblogging. And when I say microblogging, you know, it's that short 140 characters, you know, or less that you need. It's a quick statement out there that you need to post. And the thing that you got to use those hashtags. That's really important. You got to really talk to people. I mean, I do it all the time too. I just post, you know, I'm busy, you know, I post, but I have a presence. Now, if I wanted to go higher, I know I have to engage people in an actual conversation.
Yeah.
You have to tweet, for example, a quick way to do it, if you're collaborating with another artist, and hopefully that other artist has even a bigger fan following than you. You can tag him and post and conversate with him about a hot track maybe you came across. You know, just people seeing it because, like I said, people are looking a little bit nosy. And, you know, or something that's going on with you, say, hey, I just dropped this hot album, I got this crazy review, you know, here's my review, and they're going to see when you reply to him or tag him in that tweet, it's going to appear in his stream. And then if you have a link saying, yeah, listen to the top review of our song, or listen to the top track that I picked up, what do you think about it? You want to collab? You know, it's by a really, really great producer. You don't have to do anything. You know, you just have to create that the illusion. You're like, oh, I want to see. So they're going to click on that link and it leads them back to your site, and you're going to start giving them some traction. You know, and please do have a hot track. So people will be like, you know how people are. Can I get on that? How many times have you been in the studio, you had a hot track and you're around other artists? Hey, can I get on that?
Yeah.
Come on. Did you put in on this? It's like, I want the track. Did you put in on it? You want $8? Okay, give me $80. There you go. You want it because you have to keep in mind, your grind is your grind. Now, if you're doing it alone, your purpose and objective should always be to go to the next level. You want to be sitting at radio stations. You're trying to get coverage from reviewers, from bloggers, distribution for it. That's what you have to keep in mind. So your track is valuable. So anybody who wants in on it has to understand this is not some homie hookup. You know, I'm serious about my music career. Are you serious about your music career? Are you going to help me promote this? Are you going to offset the cost with me? You know, help me, you know, pay for CDs and we can both hand it out because we're both on the track sharing the expense. That's a true collaboration. So bear that in mind when people say they want to hop on your track. You're like, you know, that's cool. You know, homie hookups don't keep the lights on. So you just have to, you know, keep that in mind. So when you're tweeting with people you're collabing with, and even if you want to collab with somebody and say, hey, you know that other artist is hot, you like their fan base, you want an opportunity to pitch something to them, so you tag them in that tweet and say, hey, I got a hot track. Or if you can't get on it, do you know somebody you can? Or you know how you say, I'm looking for a female rapper, I'm looking for a female singer, I'm looking for a male singer. You know, people are going to see that and say, hey, you know, I'm just thinking that's a really hot track, what you looking for? It's generating conversation. That's your whole point. Your whole point is to engage people in a conversation and keep it going. And you can gain followers that way. You can gain mentions, retweets, and replies. And you can just build that reputation on Twitter because Twitter is one of the hardest things to build organically. I mean, that's why a lot of people pay for followers, which I don't recommend because A&R, such as myself, can go audit your account. And I see, I mean, this is why I'm not going to say names, but some company had 200,000 followers, and I went, I can barely pull you up in Google. How the heck do you have 200,000 followers? when your other places, your other networks barely have any members.
Yeah.
It was 3% out of those 200,000 followers were legit. 3%. 3%. I feel so bad. I couldn't even see anything. I'm like, wow.
3%.
Wow. That's bad. Now, I'm going to tell you the thing about Twitter. People will follow you, and they may not even be legit. It's not because you paid for them to follow you, but you got people just following you. So it's always good to audit your account.
Yeah.
Just make sure and get rid of those deadbeats because it drags your ranking down with Twitter. I mean, sometimes it can get you banned depending on what it is, with Twitter. And case in point, YouTube, they're always scrubbing. So they'll scrub for fake followers and fake views. They hit up all the major labels, Sony, Universal, and Warner Brothers. And a lot of their major artists lost millions of views because they had fake followers.
Yeah.
And fake views. So you don't want to do that. You want to build organically because that's what's going to make you money, that contact with engagement with fans, and then you want your Twitter thing to run. But like I said, you have to have your website in place. And then just, moving on to Facebook. Facebook is a different beast. And, you've been on it long enough. Facebook can be great. Facebook can be weird. Facebook can work really well for you. And that really depends on you. How well do you want it to work for you in your music? And that starts with your fan page. What's your strategic objective for it? Are you sharing a mix of relevant links and engaging content and videos and polls that your fans can constantly engage with? Like, say you did a demo of a video of a song or did a freestyle and you put it on your page and, I want the feedback. What do you think? And then, put some comment on it. Even if you get one comment, don't feel bad. Because I'm going to tell you, a high majority, I can't give you a number, so ignore my phone right now. The high majority is basically people being nosy. So you may get a comment, you may not get a comment. Just don't ever get discouraged. I can post things and nobody would ever like it. But I know they're looking. I know they're looking and taking notes because sometimes they'll forget and they'll click to you. It'll be another radio station or be another marketing person. And they'll be like, oops. I need to let her know. Well, you gotta figure your page is public facing, so you're gonna have a lot more people looking than liking. They're doing the other looking and lurking. They may not be liking. Yeah. You don't have to worry about that. You want to focus on generating some engagement because Facebook has changed how it ranks, posts now. It looks for how is your post being shared, is it ranking, and even with the links, I did an experimentation with links, and it's challenging now because when you post a link to your website, they only send it out to very few people. Like if I post a link, I'm lucky if 35 people will reach. But if I just post a general post with no links, it'll reach 5, 6, 700, 1,000, 2,000 people.
Wow.
That's without paying for it. And then now that if you have a high commented post, Facebook will contact you and encourage you to boost it even higher by paying. So that's what I said. The whole thing Facebook has changed. But don't get discouraged about Facebook. You gotta find your way around it. Use it for what it's worth. Engage. Even if it's a small engagement, maybe 2 or 3 people commenting, just encourage them, hey, keep sharing because you're going to drive your likes up. Because the more you drive people talking about you, that means Facebook see you're doing something relevant. But if you have 12,000 likes and then maybe 100 people talking about what you're doing, they're going to look at that like, we're not going to let them, reach as many people as they could. But the more people that you engage, that's why I said when you look at your Facebook fan page, the fan page is different now. It's different from your profile. Your fan page is public facing. You're going to see the number of likes and the number of people talking about you. You got to work on getting those people talking about you because those are the people that are sharing your content. And that, that could just take, you have to be consistent. Like, I use my page as an example because I grow my page organically. If I don't talk to people, it will drop down to like 120. If I start engaging people and posting relevant content that people, I rarely ask people to share, but I can, and then some marketers will tell you should, and I agree with them. But sometimes I feel that I don't have to. If they want to share it. Once in a while, I'll say share my content. But when you're new and starting out, you definitely want to say, hey, share this for me, with your friends and stuff. You have to give them a call to action. What do you want them to do when you post? Please share this and help me spread the word.
Yeah.
Even if it's just one person to share it. Or none. That's okay. Maybe they didn't find it relevant enough. So you just keep at it. You keep posting consistently. Different things. Different, not the same. Different things. Switch up the content a little. Even if it's something like, I'm going to give you an example. Say you're working on this music project and it's for a nonprofit. Great way to get some publicity. I mean, of course you're doing it because it's generally a good thing to do for, helping a nonprofit out. But also, that's how you get free media. Doesn't cost you anything. Say you want to do a food drive. You go down to one of the local nonprofit agencies. They're hurting right now. They're not even getting the funding that they need to feed the people countless people that are coming through their doors, especially during the winter time, and say, hey, I'm thinking about putting on this show or fundraisers to help people because I have people in my family in that situation that, they're having a harder time making ends meet. So I want to do a food drive to help people, and I want to put on the showcase. And you can probably partner up with them and say, hey, well, we partner up. Could you help us, help us get more media coverage and get awareness? Because usually a nonprofit has media contacts that they can call or send a press letter over to a news agency desk. And news agencies love feel-good stories. They're always striving to get those community stories. And they say, even if they don't get to you right away, just keep putting it across your desk.
Yeah.
But they look for those stories like that, and so they'll come down and they'll cover it for free because it's a feel good and it's helping a nonprofit out. It's giving you the exposure. You can get on camera and say, this is what I'm doing. And I had family that got laid off, and give you that little 5 seconds of fame to tell your story. I had family that got laid off, and I'm a music artist, and I'm trying to put my music to some good use. And raise awareness about the plight of people going, just really having a hard time. And you'd be amazed and say, you can reach me. If people want to donate, come down here. I'm giving away this. Or you can go to my website. What do you always hear news people say? You can always go to our website. See? Or follow us on Twitter. Or see us on Facebook. I'm like, if I did a drinking game, I'd be drunk. I'd be probably saying it's on Facebook, okay, that's great. And it's on, Twitter, I was like, that's what you have to do. Anytime you're in front of a camera, anytime that you're being interviewed, hey, this is what I'm doing. What you need to do is newsworthy stuff. That stuff people love. You put it on your Facebook fan page. Hey, I'm doing a food drive. Even if you don't have a show. Even if you think, hey, I had this idea. I want to do a food drive because I know so many different people are going through something. Any of you artists want to put together a showcase? We can just do a showcase and donate all our proceeds. You don't look like the team. You put something like that together and people go like, hey, it's nice. After the holidays, people paying bills, people are hurting. Let's try to get some food in your food. Trying to campaign and get some food donations should be year-round. It shouldn't be just during the holidays. Because people are hungry every day. And the food banks, I'm constantly hearing, on the news that food banks they're really struggling right now because they don't have that. So that'll be a good opportunity for you to get some exposure. And to post living content on your Facebook fan page where someone's going to say, wow, you're doing a food drive? You're helping the community? I'm telling you that, being a owning the radio station, and also I was a music director for a radio station, that was, we hopped on that like cold on ice. We saw a band doing something. We wanted to get the word out. They didn't even have to ask us, we're going to spread this word, we're going to raise the flag, we're going to burn this, whatever. We're going to let people know that they need to come down here and help you. I mean, they love it. So, and people love it. They just start sharing crazy. When you know you're trying to help someone else and you're not asking for a handout, they'll help you, and by proxy, you want to get that exposure. And most likely, it's either going to cost you very little or nothing at all to do it. So you got to make sure you're promoting like any upcoming events, and you create them in your events tab so that it's easily accessible on your Facebook fan page. You want to post a certain amount of time per day. Now, that's the biggest issue. There's a huge debate between us marketeers about how many times you should post. Some people say twice a day because Facebook is always changing. You know, you post twice a day. Sometimes you'll see me not post at all. Sometimes you'll see me post maybe 2 times a day. Sometimes you see me post so much you're like, I just want to stop posting. I mean, but I try to make sure when I'm posting it and I get so excited I'll find something else, I'm posting something relevant. But, you know, I got to keep it out when it's relevant. I want to share and tell the fuck this. You would know your followers just following you on your fan page. You would know that they don't mind receiving relevant content. You know, if I was out there just glorifying myself, then I can understand somebody inboxing me and say, you know what, I'm about to unfriend you. It's going up the inbox. I think I would have to say, you know what, you are just slamming me on my newsfeed, but it's such good content that I don't mind. You know, they said that to me. So that's what I'm saying. It's a little, you know, I'm sitting out here, I'll be thinking about that. I don't want to seem like I'm spamming, but it is really good content. I know people want it, and I have a lot of people say, please post whatever you find. But you really want to gauge how your users want to accept your content. So start out slowly with 2 posts a day, but make sure they're very, very, very relevant. Even if it's not something you are directly doing, it could be something that's occurring in the music industry. Like, for example, Beyonce, that thing was just incredible. That she had to go out there and pretty much tell Miley Cyrus that I didn't have to get naked to sell my album. Basically, that's what she did. I didn't have to get naked, sit on anybody's big old wrecking ball. I didn't have to look weird and do anything crazy and rub crosses across my body like Lady Gaga. I didn't have to pay a sponsor or Target or get a who's to promote me. I didn't even tell you that I just dropped my album. Did she just do a gangster move or what? She did. She just did. It's me. I'm Beyonce. I am the queen. I mean, she is the queen. She proved that title when she did that. In 3 days, 800,000 sales in one media outlet alone. No announcement, no nothing. I saw people tweeting the album. I saw people who didn't even like Beyonce. They had made comments about her. Who was still tweeting her and Instagramming. And I even posted. I said, you know what? I mean, I never bought any of her music. I mean, I admire her marketing and business acumen. You know, her music is okay. I mean, I think she's really great. I don't know her personally. I can't comment on her. So I just say, hey, I'm so impressed by what she did. She just said, shut the front door. Now shut up, sit down somewhere, and let me show you something. I am the queen. Forget the diva. I am the queen. I am empress. So she dropped her. I mean, she shut everybody. She left people so bewildered in the music industry they didn't know what to do. And you know what? That was pure profit. That was pure profit. She didn't have to hire a marketing company. That was pure profit out of her pocket. Or in her pocket. Pure. She is smiling. She said, yes, thank you for all you little haters talking about my Illuminati connections. Thank you for keeping me, in the media. Because that's what people do, you got negative promotion, you got positive promotion. She took that negative promotion and rode on it. That's what she did.
Yeah.
Because people were making big about her. People were posting all this negative stuff. And then it created an avenue for her to drop her album. Because the press was already going crazy about what she was doing, how she was doing it, her little mishaps that she had, like somebody snatching her off the stage in Brazil, and, you know, of course, that went viral on YouTube, and her, the Super Bowl with her eyes looking bulged, you know, that went viral, so she's like, I ain't gonna do nothing, people are promoting me, so I just dropped my album. And she did.
Yep.
That's what you want to do. You want to get to that point. So on your Facebook, that's what I said. You could comment on that and say, you know, Beyonce, you know, did an incredible move as a music artist. I would love to see myself do something like that one day. That's all you have to say. You talk about it and post some information, and people are gonna start commenting on, you know, I know you're right. I mean, she did. That's how you have to create what we call conversation pieces. I walk around in this big, fluffy, Russian-style hat. It's warm. I love the hat. It's me. You know, I have my family members think I'm wearing the craziest thing on my head, but I say, yeah, that's why you shivering. That's why I'm warm. But anytime I go to a store, go up to the cash register, I hear, I love your hat. I'm like, oh, and it starts with a conversation. It sure does. Some people stand there and stare at me, and they stop and they go, I love your hat. Or I love this. You can get, you start saying, oh, you do, I do this, I got this, tell a story. I got this, as a guest, because I'm traveling and I'm touring. You're touring? Oh, yeah, I'm touring right now, promoting that album. Oh, what do you do? I say this because when I work with a lot of artists and I go to their events to cover something, whether video-wise or photography-wise, they always are drawn to my camera. When I have my camera, oh, what are you here for? Well, I'm actually photographing this music artist here, this behind the scenes for his music video. Automatically, you'll turn to and I'll introduce them to the artist. And then that's the artist conversation piece. I became the artist conversation piece. So the person had turned to the artist and was like, well, what do you do? What type of music do you? And she asked for his album. Do you know what he did?
Yeah.
And after she left, I said, how come you don't have any copies of your album or single or anything, or a business card, or you can hand out to her and say, hey, this is what I do. Why don't you have your pitch ready? And he basically said, I don't know. And he said, and I was stuck that she wasn't your typical fan of hip hop. I say, you can't judge people how they look. You'd be amazed at how many. She was an elderly Caucasian woman. Yes, asking him about his music and wanted to know more about him and his story. I think you don't even know who she is. She could know someone in the industry. She could be someone in the industry. For her to be asking you such in-depth questions. And he was like, next time I'll be prepared. I said, opportunities, you got to seize an opportunity. So anytime you go out, you always got to be equipped with your cards, with your gear. And it's easier if you have a download card, it's easier to carry. You can get a stack of download cards. You can turn it into your business card / album card. They can go online and download it and say, listen, or say, oh, music right here on my phone. You can play it for them. You want to hear it. Or this is what I'm doing. I have my videos. Because she was asking, do you have your music videos? She said, is where I can see your video? Is it where I can download your music? I was looking at them like, dude, you really could be like, wow, she's somebody. She is, because you just don't get an elderly Caucasian woman asking questions like that. And that.
Yeah.
She has some connections.
Yeah.
And she likes her. And he knew it. So you don't ever want to blow things like that. So you want to make sure when you say, yes, here's my information, and when you give her card, give her your card, or whoever, the person your card, you make sure it has your website on there. You have your contact, all your contact information. And don't put all of your social media sites on there, because when you go to the website, they can see you have other social media sites. Just put your website and your top social media site, whatever has the highest number. And that could be your Facebook page could have the most followers. It could be your Twitter page that has the most followers. It could be your Google Plus page. It could be LinkedIn, Pinterest, anything, Instagram. They want to go there and say, whoa, they have a lot of followers on there. And I always tell artists to be mindful of how you present yourself. If you want to sit there and curse and spit and say enough and all that stuff, make that stuff private. I said, just make it private. And make the public stuff, because the industry, they go and look at your pages and they start judging you about, okay, this person is ignorant. I can't use them. Or they're sitting there, but you go on Instagram and how many pictures, and this is not to judge anybody. They can do whatever they want to do, but I'm saying if you're trying to be professional, there's a time and a place to post pictures of your jar of weed balls. And this is for Instagram. Don't be that proud to be in Colorado. We all know you can smoke. We don't need to see the paraphernalia. The actual smoking of the product. The type of wrappers that you buy. How you roll your weed. And the keep it. We don't need to see that. And the industry don't want to see it, because they're like, okay, I'm going to your music page as an artist, but I see more promotional weed products than your music. So they're not classify you as a weed head and don't want to bother with you. You don't want that to happen. Not even on the industry, the popos and just enjoy themselves. And, what's the What's big Jesus to be living again? Oh, he doesn't live in one of those approved marijuana curing card states. Yeah. I have friends in law enforcement. They love it. They say, we love social media. That's what they say. That's all. That's all. We don't have to do any work. We don't really have to go out and knock on doors anymore. We just go to your site and look at you and shake our heads. They do. They look for you on social media. You Google police busting people and Facebook and stuff, you'll see it come up all the time. Some people even rob liquor stores, rob convenience stores, and actually went online and actually posted their loot and how they did. Yes. So you want to bear that in mind when you're cleaning up, because I want you to do a health checkup on all your social media sites. So if you have any pictures that could be considered questionable, just make them private if you can.
Okay.
And see what you can, make sure that you can clean it up to the best of your ability, and before you really start campaigning your music. So I want you to go to every single public site that you have, look at your pictures, and see, okay, this is my public page. Your public page should be all about music. Instagram, you don't have a tool where you can actually, or a setting where you can just hide, per picture. You either have to hide the whole thing or don't at all. So I recommend that if you do have an Instagram page, you can create a personal Instagram account for your family, your close friends and stuff, and make that private. And then you can have, because that's what I do, I have my private page, and nobody needs to see me, I'm not doing anything silly, but I'm just saying, I lock it down because I don't want my pictures floating around in the internet.
Yes.
But for the Woodhead Radio Cosign TV, that's my business page. You will see nothing but me promoting artists, promoting products, and all that. That's how it should be, and that's what you want people to see, because your personal life is different and is separate from your business life. So you definitely want to do that, and like I said, it's very integral that you make sure that all your photos are professional. For your public-facing page, if you do a photo shoot, definitely do a photo shoot, because you definitely want quality photos on there. And you need high quality. You can find a really good photographer for a decent rate, or you can visit one of your local universities, because usually a university has a photography program. And there's always some student there, trying to build a portfolio and want to really use their camera equipment or can borrow the school's camera equipment. We usually have studios. Like, when I was in Phoenix, we had a bunch of universities, but specifically our institute in Phoenix, where I graduated from, we have our own studio. So did Collins College. They had their own, studio, film studio and everything. So you can reach out to them, and a lot of times you can just do it for free. Just contact their career counseling center and say, hey, I see somebody, they'll get credit. This is what I'm doing. I'm a music artist. I'll make sure to get credit for the work and everything like that. I need some promotional pictures. They can put their little, photography credit line on there. You don't care. You just want some professional looking photos.
Yeah, yes.
Because it's important, because not only is your social media is important, I mean, it's the elements and the materials that you need for your social media. I mean, because you can build a social media page, but you don't have the content, such as your photos, you don't have professional videos. And, there's no way not to have a professional video these days. You can, do you have a smartphone? I think you do. I believe you do, right? Yeah. Usually all these smartphones have a very good camera on it. I have an 8-megapixel camera, and this is a Samsung Galaxy 3. I shot an entire behind-the-scenes music video.
Wow.
With my Samsung, and I didn't even know it had anti-shake on it. It was impromptu. I wasn't down there to shoot anything, but I said, this is freaking cool. So I actually whipped it out and started filming. And I didn't have any special accessories in it, I just whipped it out and started filming, and it was totally organic, totally guerrilla, definitely guerrilla, and it was fun. I'll send it to you so you can see the clarity, of me doing it. And that was all impromptu, and I haven't edited videos in a while because I just wasn't bothering with it, but I can edit videos. So I said, I'm going to get back into editing. So I edited myself. I did the cuts. I did the fade-outs. I did the splits. And I did the split scenes where one person was talking and it was showing the other person doing spitting their freestyle. It was for behind the scenes for a cypher video shoot. And put the music in there and everything. And everybody's like, wow, you did it with a Samsung Galaxy 3? I said, heck yeah. I got my money's worth out of this phone. I said, so you've always got to look at what you have around you, take a list of all the tools that you already have at your availability, and use them. You don't have to go out and buy expensive equipment. Long as it looks good. It doesn't have to be high professional, but it looks good. It looks decent. It's clear. Audio, people understand, they can forgive if audio or if the visuals are kind of blurry, but audio has to be crystal clear. But if you have crystal clear audio along with the visual, that's even better. And you want to post, weekly things with fans, because, like I said, when I look at your site, you need more relevant content in order to build that engagement. I mean, you got your site set up, you're pretty much your social, you just need content building. So that's what we really need to focus on before we can really do the second part of going into, okay, you got everything together, let's start getting the fans in. Because you want to build a pool of custom content. You want your generic promotional posts, and you want, your stuff that's just like a breaking news type stuff. You want to sit here and think about what you want to talk about each week and what's going on in the industry that you can comment on that might relate to you indirectly. You want to give something where it gives people comedy. Most people, all they want to talk about is, topics that, it's kind of really dumbing down Facebook, pretty much. And they're not really utilizing it to the best of its ability. It's a free service. I mean, use it. And if you use it, right? Yeah.
I got my phone.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I just got on with a little blog radio show. We do a show every Sunday, so that's like a good start, I guess.
Yes, especially if you have your own radio show. You can encourage fans and say, hey, I can play my music, but you always play, because we had all of the hosts that I had at one time on What's the Radio, they were all artists. But I said, it's okay for you to play your own music, but don't let it be all about your own music and stop glorifying it. Because then it's going to be, oh, you're only doing this for yourself. You want to show that you're helping, and the best way where it doesn't look like you're glorifying is say if you wanted to play 30 minutes of your music straight. Let it be collabs with 10, 15 artists that fill up that 30 minutes. It's not just you on the track.
Yeah.
And let it be different things and different times. Invite the artist to collab with you onto the show to talk about the music project.
Yeah.
They're going to bring your fans in to listen. Their fans are going to be quickly introduced to you, and then you want to be able to, expand your market that way. So that's what I'm saying. If you have I recommended that last year. I said, just nothing wrong with starting your own podcast. I said, do that. That's how I said, it's not going to cost you anything. I said, especially if you're collabing with other artists and they have a fan base and they want to listen in. And, you get excited when you get airplay. So, other artists are going to get excited. Yeah, I hop on that conversation with you, and I'll be happy to call in. Oh, you're going to play that joint that we did together? Oh, cool. I'm going to tell everybody.
Yeah.
That's what you want. Yeah, can you post this to your Facebook? Can you post it? Can you tweet about this? Can you do all this thing? Not only will it build you as an artist, it will build your radio show as well.
Uh-huh.
So it's basically, like I said, looking at the tools that you already have and say, okay, Chip, what can I do? I have this, and that. How can I make it work? That's how you make it work. Didn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
Didn't cost you anything at all to make that work. Now, the thing is, widgets. Widgets, Reverb Nation is well known for widgets. They have those little things where you can join a mailing list, or they can look at your tour stuff. That's great, because email building list is what you really need. I mean, if you can build an email list of people who opt in and people who subscribe to you that really want to be served your content, that is ideal, because you can pretty much build a huge fan following from that. And don't worry if you're not going to have that many opens, because sometimes people, think this stuff goes to like a spam folder or something. Or they just joined your mailing list to be nosy. Like I said, the looky loo and the lurker. We all do. We all go through that. So, but you want to, connect with people even more so in email, because it's still a powerful marketing tool that you can use. Because anytime you draw people to your website, you want them to sign up to some form of mailing list. You want them to subscribe to you in some way. You want to, like the Reverb Nation is perfect for that, download my music when you become a fan. They ask if you want to be added to a mailing list, subscribe to my mailing list. Personally, I couldn't subscribe to anybody's mailing list. My inbox is already full. But for an artist trying to build a fan base, that's perfect to encourage something like that. Bookmarking and tagging. That's another thing. You want people to start, doing referrals from bookmarking and tagging sites. Your pages can rank on key terms with that. You can increase your views and increase your submissions. But that's being on sites like Reddit, Dig, and StumbleUpon. But that's when you really have some articles you really want to talk about. And it's easy to get on those sites, but it's hard to maintain if you don't have a promo team behind you to do that. It's a lot of work. And now you would have something like, with your website, you could have a blog site. And the key to having a blog area to your site, even if the whole site is on a blogging platform, but you want to have one thing that says blog or news or something like that. And my marketing peers will say blog, calling it blogging or what is on its way out. Yeah, whatever. But that's what people they still say it. The average person, maybe the marketeers will say, oh, that's out, but I'm talking about the average lay person is still saying blog. Call it what it is. Call it what the masses call it. It's a blog. And what you want to do is when you post, like I said, when you post any information, you want to direct people back to your site, but keep in mind, Facebook lowers the amount of people you reach, so you want to post that more in Facebook groups, where they don't lower the views on that. and you want to be involved in, say, 50 to 100 groups, and you want to post to, say, like 50 groups a day, I belong to almost 400 groups, but I don't post the same content to every group, and I don't post it in every day. I switch up what 50 I post to. That's how I grew What's in Radio from 958 members June 1st to close to 15,000 by the end of December.
Yeah.
I posted relevant content. I didn't ask them to share it. I could see that they were sharing. And when you belong to those groups, the key thing is to turn off notifications from it. So you won't get everybody else posting, and you will only see when people comment on your stuff that you posted. Because trying to remember all those groups that you posted to is a nightmare. By setting up your notifications like I do, I can see like who commented in what group to what I post. Now I don't see like tons and tons of so-and-so's posting here, so-and-so's post. I don't care about that. All I care about is what people commented, and that's what you need to do. Figure out, join the group, turn off notifications, and then when you post stuff, then you can see who's posting what. And that way you can also catch when people trying to post on your own grind. You know what I'm talking about. Promote your own stuff under your post. That's when you can go in and politely, don't have to say anything to them, politely delete it. And if they post back, you'll see it again. You can go back in and politely delete it. So there it is. Because you need to be able to track that. YouTube, definitely, like I said, you need to start doing some content for that. Get up close and personal. You can create your storytelling, because people want to know about stories. That's what social media is about right now, that people did a study on what people really want to know, and they're like, we want to know more about the person. Why should we invest in you? And I'm not talking about money. This isn't time, because time is money. I got to take 5 minutes out of my day to talk to you or watch something or listen to something. That's an investment. That's taking me away from something else I could be doing. So it has to be worth my while. So tell me your story. Why should I listen to you? Why should I buy your music? You want to become very up close and personal. Don't do what some artists do and get on their diatribe, soapbox, whatever, stand up there and gotta swear and curse everybody in sight. That is not good self-promotion. That's not storytelling. That's ranting. And you don't want to do that. You want to be able to say, this is what I'm doing. You talk about your different projects, your different experiences, how you met the producer. You can, even if you didn't have your own radio show, you can interview people. Like I said, other artists that you're collabing with, producers that are on your track. You would love that. DJs who may be mixing your mixtape for you. You can interview them, and then you say, you're mixing let's talk about the mixtape. And what do? Sharing some of that promotion go a long way. And then, they want to share and say, hey, watch this video of me, being in this video with Soul Rebel talking about our project together. It's not going to cost you anything. You can have somebody hold your camera and make sure anti-shake's on, because people start like, yeah, do that. Like, no, don't move the camera. But so you need somebody that can really hold that smartphone for you and good lighting and actually tape it. But these are low-cost things that you can do to really get started. And like I said, from this particular thing, this first meeting is to talk about what I need you to do, and I'm going to run an SEO site check on there and send you the report. I want you to look at each of your social media sites and see what you need to add and what you need to change, because that's very important, because everything needs to be cleaned up so you can start from ground zero. So before you put out, are you there?